Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the art of negotiation. And we're not just winging it. We're pulling from Harvard experts and even former FBI hostage negotiators to give you a clear, actionable playbook for getting what you want without all the conflict. You know that feeling, right? That sinking sensation that you've somehow lost the conversation before it's even really begun? We've all been there. It's that super frustrating moment when your brilliant idea gets shut down at work, or, a simple chat at home about weekend plans somehow just hits a brick wall. So often, the real problem is just a massive communication breakdown. We're trying to say one thing, but because of their own perspective, their own baggage, they hear something totally different. And this really gets to the heart of it. The first big move is a mindset shift. You have to stop thinking of negotiation as a battle to be won. It's not. It's more like a creative act of discovery, a puzzle you're meant to solve together. All right, so step one. And you might be surprised, but it has absolutely nothing to do with them. It's all about getting a handle on the one and only thing you can actually control, your own reactions. When things start getting tense, our first instinct is just to react, right? But you can't. Instead, you have to hit the pause button, take a mental step back, up to the balcony, and just observe the whole scene like you're a neutral outsider. Our gut reactions almost always betray us here. They push us down one of these three paths. We either fight back, we give in just to make the conflict stop, or we just walk away from it all. And guess what? None of those actually solve the problem. Before you even walk into the room, you have to know your BATNA. It's your plan B, your walkaway option. Knowing exactly what you'll do if you can't make a deal, that gives you an incredible amount of power and confidence. The stronger your BATNA, the more leverage you have. Okay, so you're calm, you're on the balcony, you know your plan B. The next step is a really big one. You have to stop thinking about yourself, get out of your own head, and try to get into theirs. Look, it's so easy to get fixated on their position. That's the thing they say they want, but you gotta dig deeper. You have to uncover their underlying interests, the real needs, the desires, the fears that are driving that position. And the key to unlocking that? Just ask why. Here is a ridiculously simple but powerful tactic straight from SBI negotiators. It's called mirroring. All you do is repeat the last few words they said, but as a question. I know, it feels a little awkward at first, but it works like magic to get them to keep talking and explain what they really mean. Another fantastic tool is labeling. You listen for the emotion hiding behind their words, and then you just state it back to them. Start with something like, it seems like, or it sounds like. It shows you're not just hearing words, you're hearing the feeling. And all of this leads to a really crucial moment. See, there's a huge difference between someone saying, you're right, and that's right. You're right is often just a polite way of saying, please go away, but that's right. That's the golden phrase. That's a gut reaction that tells you they feel completely and totally understood. And this is just a powerful reminder that listening to their words is barely half the story. I mean, look at this. The vast majority of any message is completely nonverbal. To really get what's going on in their world, you have to watch how they're saying things, not just what they're saying. Okay, so you've got your own emotions in check, and you've genuinely taken the time to understand theirs. Now you get to reframe the entire conversation. It's no longer a face-off, it's a collaboration. So instead of being a no machine, you become a what-if machine. You just open the floor to possibilities. Brainstorm everything without judging any of it. And asking them for advice, that is especially powerful because it makes them a partner in finding the solution. Sometimes even when you've found the perfect solution, the other person still hesitates. Why? Because nobody wants to feel like they've backed down or lost. So your job is to build them a golden bridge, making it not just easy, but attractive for them to walk over to your side. And you build that bridge by tackling these common roadblocks. You involve them so the solution feels like their idea too. You make sure their core needs are actually being met. You help them save face. And finally, you go slow. Don't rush them into a decision. Now, this entire philosophy of creative, collaborative problem solving, it's captured perfectly in this one classic story. So the setup seems totally impossible, right? 17 is a prime number. You can't divide it by 2, or 3, or 9. The math just flat out doesn't work. So, of course, they get stuck. They're totally locked into their positions. My half, my third, my ninth. and they just argue. They're at a complete stalemate. Sound familiar?
But then a wise woman comes along and she completely changes the game. She doesn't take anything away. She does something unexpected. She adds a new resource to the pile, which totally reframes the problem.
And boom, just like that, the impossible becomes simple. The eldest gets 9 camels. The middle gets 6. The youngest gets 2. You add it all up, it comes to 17. Everybody gets what they were promised, actually more, and the wise woman even gets her camel back. So this little story just brings it all home. The next time you're stuck in a negotiation that feels impossible, stop trying to just slice up the pie that's in front of you. Don't ask who's winning. Ask yourself a much better question. What is my 18th camel? What's that one creative thing you can add to the mix to find a solution that works better for everyone?